reviewing the tape. I basically feel the same way I did last night. We've got to clean up some things, really all three phases. There were some good things from our young guys, but not enough. And we'll go back to the drawing board here and work on that. For information, Patrick is going to go to Dallas for a second opinion with Dr. Cooper, and we'll just see. We'll give you updates as we go from there. And then, as far as the other injuries go, I really don't have anything to offer you right now. We'll talk about that later. That time's yours.
We'll go ahead and start with Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
And said I'll have a second if I can. Just in generally speaking, this is the first time Patrick is going to have to go through a long rehab. Just knowing what you know about him, how do you feel like he will attack that challenge?
Yeah, I think just what you said. He'll attack it, and he just like he does everything else. There've been some pretty good quarterbacks that have had the same injuries, and they've done pretty well after they came back. So he'll get after it, and he's got good people here to rehab him, and he'll be right on top of all that.
And then Chris Jones mentioned last night just your message of finishing the season strong. With that said, how much can you use these 3 games as an evaluation period for the younger talent on the roster?
Yeah, listen, every game you go into, I mean, it can be Yahtzee and you want to win. I mean, we're in America here. That's kind of what we do. So you want to go in to play your best. And, if the guys are available, they're going to play. And they know that, and they want to do that. So, you find out.
Thanks.
We'll go next to Jesse Newell.
Hey, Sid, I'll have a follow-up too. Hey, Andy, I just wondered how much have you been able to talk to Pat in the last 18 hours or so after the injury?
Yeah, I've had a good visit with him a couple different times. So he's in a good place. He always feels like he let people down, but then he comes back and he's ready for the challenge ahead. Which is what's real right now. He's just got to get through surgery wherever it might be, and then move on from there.
Great. And just given some time to process for yourself now, just what are your own thoughts and emotions, kind of knowing now the severity of the injury that he, suffered?
Yeah, I know the process of rehabbing for sure. He'll get in there, and I know he'll come out on the strong end of this thing, and then as we go here, we're finding a lot out about our team. Some of the young guys are having opportunities to play. We're going to finish the season strong and with effort, and then then you get into the off season. But there's I'm always optimistic about going forward, and Brett Veach does a heck of a job with bringing players in, as you can see now by the guys that are in there playing. So, and then it's our responsibility to clean things up on the coaching side of it, and the players to take responsibility on their end and finish these 3 games, and then whoever's still here after to retool it.
We'll go next to Sarin. Go ahead, Sarin.
Thanks, Sydney. I'll have a couple as well. Coach, first of all, just kind of, you said if guys are ready, they'll play. You also just said there, some young guys have had a chance. I'm just curious, what would be the reason to not, since you're not going to be playing in the postseason, to not go ahead and, what's the thinking of not playing younger players that are definitely under contract and that maybe could get some valuable experience?
Most of them are already playing.
Okay.
So that's the main thing. I mean, it's I've got to see what the injuries are here and from this game, and then go from there. But most of the young guys are having an opportunities in one phase or another. You know, you only have so many numbers in this thing that you can play with. So in the NFL, it's not quite like college where you have 90 guys that you can just pick and choose from. You know.
And then I know the other question about the offense, obviously the injuries are playing a part of it, but does it feel like, it's just been out of sync all year for whatever reason that you've had some moments where it's been really good. You go back to the Raider game, the Lion game, but a lot of times it just feels like everyone's just kind of like, when you go deep, Pat's talking about, well, maybe you should have checked it down. When he checks it down, he says, well, maybe I should have been aggressive. Have you just felt like you've been kind of out of sync on that all year?
Well, when you lose close games, you search for things. And so, because you want to fix it. And sometimes it's a penalty here, sometimes it's a turnover here. So, um, uh, you have a variety of things. I mean, it's always one little thing that determines close games, normally one or two things. And we've had our share of those, and you can't have those. I mean, uh, it could be the wrong play, called the wrong play at the wrong time. So we've all got a piece of this thing, and you got to keep striving to fix it, and then do what you have to do in the off season. But you finish these games here striving to do better and cleaning up some things. And I mentioned one of the positive things is you get to see a lot of young guys play out of it and see what they're all about.
We'll go next to Sam McDowell.
Hey, Andy, a couple things. I just wondered, first of all, you mentioned that Patrick is getting a second opinion. Is that because you guys are still analyzing whether there's damage beyond the ACL?
No, but these guys normally do that. So on that, Sam, most guys get a second opinion. Probably put it up as much as probably over 90% of the guys do this, and that's just part of it. And that's what he's doing.
And then just throughout this last, decade plus, I mean, you guys have been so good at building as the season progresses and getting better. What's the difficulty in doing that mid-year, knowing that the rest of the league's trying to do the same thing?
Yeah, you've always got to continue to strive to build and add to the roster, and then you've got to stay ahead of the game as a coach, and so and that's every off season. That's the challenge. Sometimes when you're good for the period of time that we've been doing well, you're not picking very high in the draft, and that's you make things work. Nobody's done it better than Brett has, and being able to keep everything afloat and then still not spending a ton on working in the free agency market as much as a lot of people do. So we've done, he's done a great job of juggling all of that.
We'll go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Coach, a couple of things. First off, on your guys, that you guys put out the tweet that he had an ACL. Did the initial diagnosis mention anything about a meniscus or anything, or did it just look like an ACL?
Yeah, it's just what they put out there. We try not to hide too much from you, right? That's not our game. I try to keep it right up front with you. So that's the information that they had, and they put it out for you.
And secondly, you haven't been through being out of the playoffs in December in a long, long time. What's this been like for you this past 24 hours with that realization, and where do you kind of go back to figure out how to go about this next few games?
Yeah, Todd, I mean, obviously I'm not happy about it. Neither is anybody here. I mean, that's, we strive for excellence. We try to do that every year. Things happen though in this league. I mean, it's, there's a ton of parity, and sometimes you end up on the short end of it, and you've got to go back and look at things, and that can be healthy. And we've got good people to do that with, and we've got a good nucleus of players. So we've got to go back and look at all of that.
Go next to Nate Taylor. We've got two left.
Andy, you guys don't have another quarterback on the roster right now for 2026. So how much of this next 3 games is an audition for Gardner Minshew and the possibility of having him maybe come back for next season?
Yeah, sure. I've got a ton of confidence in Gardner. So, I mean, it's, I've watched him play with these other teams. He started in the league. Our guys have confidence in him. And then Chris Oladukin behind him will work up there. And Chris has been with us for a while too. So I think there are two guys that our guys trust in there, and we'll play hard for.
We'll close it out with Todd Palmer. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Andy. First, I wanted to clarify, Dan, you're talking about Dan Cooper, the Cowboys physician down in Dallas, is who he's going to go see, yeah?
Yes, Dan Cooper.
Okay. And then second, given the typical recovery timeline for something like this, I know you're still in the season, but I mean, how does that maybe alter the way you guys have to approach the off season, knowing that Pat's not going to be available to do the stuff he's normally done, may not even be available to start training camp, things like that?
Yeah, we'll cross that as we go. Brett thinks of everything. I mean, he jumps in on it, and he's well ahead of all of it. So I'm not worried about it, that part of it. And then Pat, you never know on these rehabs how they go. I just know he's got good people that he'll be working with, and I know how aggressive he is on things, and
expose the fragile state of this once dominant franchise. It's a gut-wrenching fall from grace for a team that had grown accustomed to postseason glory, and no amount of celebrity sparkle can paper over the harsh truth. The Chiefs are done, eliminated, and staring at a long off-season of reckoning. The game started with faint hope for Kansas City, clinging to slim playoff chances at 6-7 entering Week 15. Mahomes scrambled for a touchdown in the first quarter, giving the Chiefs an early lead, but the offense sputtered from there. Isaiah Pacheco managed a pathetic 21 yards on 11 carries. The pass rush vanished, and the defense couldn't stop Justin Herbert's Chargers from grinding out field goals. Cameron Dicker's kicks flipped the script, putting Los Angeles ahead, and the Chiefs' comeback hopes evaporated in the final minutes. Trailing by 3 with under 2 minutes left, Mahomes planted his left foot to throw the ball away, only for his knee to buckle horrifically under a hit from Deshaun Hand. The two-time MVP crumpled, grabbing his leg in agony, before being helped off the field with a towel over his head. Backup Gardner Minshew stepped in and promptly threw a pick to Derwin James, sealing the defeat in the season's death knell. This isn't just a loss. It's a humiliating collapse for a dynasty that prided itself on resilience. The Chiefs finished 6-8, missing the playoffs for the first time since 2014, snapping streaks that defined the Mahomes era. No more AFC Championship appearances every year since 2018. No more Super Bowl hangovers turning into triumphs. Mahomes, already battling a nagging knee issue, now faces surgery and a grueling rehab for a torn ACL, potentially jeopardizing his explosiveness heading into 2026. Travis Kelce, Swift's fiancé, had another forgettable